A cruel influencer humiliates a woman in a coffee shop, mocking her appearance and posting it online for clout. But when the truth about her victim goes viral, the backlash is swift and merciless. Then comes an unexpected invitation that changes everything. What follows isn't the revenge story you expect. It's something far more devastating. This is about cruelty, consequences, and the kind of grace that only comes when time is running out. Chapter 1. Perfect Aesthetic. Olivia Hart had mastered the art of being watched. 19 years old, 500,000 Instagram followers, sponsored posts that paid more than most people's monthly salary, life filtered through Valencia and carefully curated captions about self-love and positivity, words she typed while believing none of them. The Rosewood Cafe was perfect for content. Marble countertops, Edison bulbs, millennial pink walls. Olivia positioned herself by the window, natural light catching her highlighted hair at exactly the right angle. Her phone was already recording when she picked up her matcha latte. $8 of aesthetic in a cup. Starting the day right with my favorite. Someone bumped her arm. The cup tilted. Green liquid splashed across the white marble counter, across her designer jacket, across the carefully constructed moment she'd been crafting. Olivia spun around, fury replacing her influencer smile in an instant. The woman who'd bumped her was apologizing, words tumbling out in genuine distress. She was maybe 40, maybe older, hard to tell, thin in a way that suggested something wrong beneath the surface. A burgundy scarf wrapped around her head, no makeup, pale skin with an almost translucent quality. "I'm so sorry," the woman said, reaching for napkins. "I got dizzy for a moment. I didn't mean... Are you serious right now?" Olivia's voice cut through the cafe's ambient music. Other customers looked up. Good, an audience. "Do you have any idea how much this jacket costs?" The woman, Claire, her name tag from the hospital around her neck read, continued apologizing. But Olivia wasn't listening. She was performing now, phone still recording, capturing the moment for the content that would surely go viral. "Look at you," Olivia continued, her voice rising. "You can't even walk straight. Maybe stay home if you're too sick to function in public like a normal person." Claire's hand went to her scarf instinctively, a protective gesture. Olivia noticed it and smiled cruelly. "What? Are you hiding some tragic haircut under there? Let me guess, you thought a scarf would make you look interesting instead of just sad?" The cafe had gone silent. 20 people watching. Several phones out now, recording from different angles. Claire's eyes filled with tears. She opened her mouth, closed it, then simply turned and walked toward the exit. Her steps were unsteady, one hand trailing along the wall for support. "Yeah, that's right. Run away," Olivia called after her. "Maybe learn some coordination before you come back." The door closed behind Claire. Olivia turned back to her followers, smile returning. "Can you believe that? Some people have zero awareness." She laughed, checking the recording. Perfect. Every moment captured. Anyway, where was I? Oh, right. But the atmosphere in the cafe had shifted. The other customers weren't looking at her with sympathy. They were looking at her with something else. Disgust. Olivia ignored it. She had her content. That was what mattered. She posted the video 17 minutes later with the caption, "When ugly people ruin your day, no filter, real talk, sorry, not sorry." The likes started rolling in immediately. Olivia didn't notice that the comments section was filling with something other than support. She didn't notice until it was far too late. Chapter 2. The Unraveling. The video hit 1 million views by midnight. Olivia woke to her phone exploding with notifications. She smiled, reaching for it with sleep-heavy hands. Going viral was always good for follower count. Brands loved viral moments. Then she started reading the comments. "You just bullied a cancer patient, you absolute monster. That ugly woman you mocked, she's going through chemo. Hope you're proud of yourself." Her name is Claire Morrison, stage 3 lymphatic cancer. She was coming from treatment when you decided to destroy her publicly. Olivia's hands went numb. She switched to Twitter. Her name was trending, not in a good way. Someone had identified Claire from local cancer support group pages, photos of Claire from before she got sick. Beautiful, vibrant, full of life. Then recent photos. The transformation that chemotherapy brings, hair loss, weight loss, the particular kind of fragility that comes with fighting for your life. The backlash was immediate and merciless. Major news outlets picked up the story. Influencer mocks cancer patient in viral video. Her follower count was dropping. Not slowly, but in a hemorrhage. 500,000, 490, 480, falling by the thousands every minute. Sponsored posts disappeared. Brand partnerships canceled. DMs from friends asking her not to contact them anymore. Too toxic, too controversial. Career suicide by association. By noon, her father was at her apartment. Richard Hart was a commercial real estate developer, self-made, wealthy. He'd given Olivia everything she'd ever wanted and never understood why that might be a problem. "Do you have any idea what you've done?" His voice was quiet, dangerous. Olivia sat on her couch, phone dark now, unable to look at it anymore. "I didn't know she had cancer. How was I supposed to know?" "You weren't supposed to know," Richard said, each word deliberate. "You were supposed to have basic human decency regardless. It was an accident. The spill was an accident. Your reaction was a choice." He sat down across from her, suddenly looking older than his 53 years. "I've spent 30 years building a reputation. You destroyed it in 3 minutes." "What do you want me to do?" "I want you to understand that actions have consequences, that cruelty has a cost, but I don't think you're capable of understanding that yet." He left without another word. Olivia sat alone in her apartment as evening fell. The silence was oppressive. She'd built her entire identity on being liked, being followed, being seen. Now people were seeing her, really seeing her, and what they saw disgusted them. Seeing her, and what they saw disgusted them. The letter arrived 3 days later. Plain envelope, handwritten address, no return label. Inside was a single page of careful cursive. "Dear Olivia, I'm sure you're going through a difficult time right now. I'd like to meet with you if you're willing. No cameras, no recording, just a conversation between two people. There's a cafe on Maple Street called The Quiet Cup. I'll be there this Saturday at 2 p.m. I hope you'll come. Claire Morrison." Olivia read it 3 times, searching for the trap, the hidden threat, the public humiliation waiting to happen. But the handwriting was gentle, the words sincere. She had no idea why Claire would want to see her, but something in the letter's simplicity, its lack of accusation or anger, made her curious. Saturday morning, she stood before her mirror for 20 minutes, trying to decide what to wear to meet someone you publicly destroyed. She settled on simple jeans and a sweater, no makeup, hair pulled back. She looked young, vulnerable, human. She looked young, vulnerable, human. The Quiet Cup was exactly what its name promised. Small, peaceful, no influencer aesthetic, just worn wooden tables and the smell of coffee and old books. Claire sat in the corner booth, a cup of tea before her. She wore the same burgundy scarf. Her face lit up with recognition when Olivia entered. Not anger, not bitterness, just recognition. "Thank you for coming," Claire said as Olivia slid into the seat across from her. "I wasn't sure you would." Olivia didn't know what to say. Every word she'd planned felt hollow. "I'm sorry," she finally managed. "I'm so sorry for what I said, for what I did. If I had known..." "If you had known, would it have mattered?" Claire's voice was gentle, not accusatory. "Or would you have been kind because of my circumstances rather than because kindness should be default?" The question hung between them. "I don't know," Olivia admitted. It was the first honest thing she'd said in days, maybe years. Claire smiled. It reached her eyes despite everything. "That's a start," she said. "Honesty, it's more than most people offer." Chapter 3. Before. Claire ordered them both coffee. Real coffee, not aesthetic coffee, the kind that tasted like comfort rather than content. "I want to tell you something," Claire said, "not to make you feel worse, but because I think you need to understand what that day was like for me." Olivia nodded, throat tight. "I was diagnosed 14 months ago. Stage 3 lymphatic cancer. The doctors gave me a 70% chance if I did everything right. Chemo, radiation, surgery, all of it." She wrapped her hands around her cup. Her fingers were thin, almost skeletal. She wrapped her hands around her cup. Her fingers were thin, almost skeletal. "I lost my job 3 months in. Too many sick days. My employer was sympathetic, but business is business. Then my husband left. He said he couldn't watch me die, just packed his things one night and left. We have a daughter, Emma, 12 years old. He left her too." Olivia felt something crack inside her chest. "The day you met me, I'd just finished my 6th round of chemo. They increased the dosage each time, you see. make it stronger, more effective, also more brutal. Claire's voice remained steady, matter-of-fact. I was dizzy, nauseous, everything hurt, but Emma needed groceries and I was trying to prove to myself that I could still function, still be a mother, still be normal. She pulled out her phone, showed Olivia a photo. A woman stood on a beach, wind catching her long dark hair. Beautiful, radiant, alive in a way that made the word inadequate. That was me, Claire said quietly, 18 months ago. Before. Olivia looked at the photo, then at Claire. The transformation was devastating. Cancer takes everything, Claire continued. Your hair first. That's what everyone sees. But it takes so much more. Your strength, your identity, your sense of self. You look in the mirror and don't recognize the person looking back. You feel like you're disappearing piece by piece. Tears tracked down Olivia's face. She didn't wipe them away. That day in the cafe, I bumped into you because I got dizzy. The medication does that. And when you started yelling, when you called me ugly, when you mocked my scarf... Claire paused. You said out loud every horrible thing I'd been thinking about myself for months, every fear, every insecurity, every moment I'd looked at my reflection and wanted to look away. I'm so sorry, Olivia whispered. I know you are, Claire said. But I didn't ask you here for an apology. She pulled out her phone again, this time showing messages, hundreds of them. After your video went viral, something unexpected happened. People recognized me from local support groups. They shared my story, and suddenly, people wanted to help. She scrolled through messages, donations, well wishes, offers of support. In 3 days, strangers donated over $150,000 to my treatment fund, enough for an experimental therapy my insurance wouldn't cover, enough to possibly give me more time with my daughter. Olivia stared at the numbers. Your cruelty, Claire said softly, somehow became my miracle. The worst moment of my life brought attention that might save it. Isn't that strange? Brought attention that might save it. Isn't that strange? I don't understand, Olivia managed. Neither do I, Claire admitted. But I wanted you to know, because I think you've been suffering too, differently, but still suffering. And I wanted you to know that something good came from all of it. Relief flooded through Olivia. Overwhelming, almost painful relief. At least something good had come from her mistake. At least Claire would be okay. At least... There's something else, Claire said. Her expression shifted. The gentle smile fading into something more serious, more final. The experimental treatment isn't a cure, Olivia. The cancer has metastasized. It's in my lymph nodes now, my liver. The treatment might give me more time, 6 months, maybe 8 if I'm lucky, but it won't save me. The cafe seemed to tilt. I'm dying, Claire said simply. The money people donated won't cure me. It'll just give me more time with Emma, time to prepare her, time to say goodbye properly. Olivia couldn't breathe. I asked you here because I'm dying, Claire continued, her voice steady despite the words. And I wanted you to know something important. I wanted to tell you face to face, without cameras or screens or anything between us. She reached across the table, took Olivia's hand in hers. Her grip was weak but firm. I forgive you. Completely. Not because you deserve it. Not because you've earned it. But because I don't have time left to carry anger. Every day is precious now, every moment, and I won't waste what little time I have on bitterness. Tears poured down Olivia's face now. Ugly crying. Real crying. The kind that came from somewhere deep and broken inside. You gave me something, even if you didn't mean to, Claire said. You gave me a chance to see that people care, that even strangers can show extraordinary kindness. Your worst moment created a space for humanity's best moments. I don't deserve your forgiveness, Olivia sobbed. No, Claire agreed. You don't. But that's what makes it grace. That's what makes it real. They sat in that quiet cafe for 2 hours. Claire talked about Emma, about the life she'd lived and the life she'd miss, about fear and hope, and the strange peace that comes from accepting the inevitable. Olivia listened, really listened, for maybe the first time in her life. When they finally parted, Claire hugged her. Fragile arms around Olivia's shoulders, the embrace of someone who knew its value. Be better, Claire whispered, not because people are watching, but because you can be. Olivia drove home in silence, Claire's words echoing in her mind. That night, she deleted every social media app from her phone. The next morning, She contacted the local oncology center and asked about volunteer opportunities. 2 days later, she donated every penny from her remaining sponsored posts, $23,000, to cancer research. It wasn't redemption, not yet. But it was a start. Chapter 4. The Months Between. Olivia showed up at the oncology center every Tuesday and Thursday. At first, the staff eyed her with suspicion. They'd seen the video, knew who she was, what she'd done, but she came back, week after week, doing the unglamorous work, emptying bedpans, changing sheets, sitting with patients during their treatments when no one else could. She stopped talking about herself, started listening instead. Mrs. Patterson in room 304, who'd survived lymphatic cancer twice and was fighting a third time. Marcus in 407, 19 years old with leukemia, who made terrible jokes to hide his fear. The Santos family, taking shifts at their father's bedside, exhausted and faithful. And Claire. Room 312, where Olivia spent most of her volunteer hours. Claire's condition was deteriorating faster than the doctors had hoped. The experimental treatment bought time, but not as much as they'd wanted. Her body was tired, worn down by months of fighting a battle she couldn't win, but she faced it with a grace that left Olivia breathless. Emma came every day after school, 12 years old with her mother's eyes and a smile that broke Olivia's heart. She didn't know yet. Claire hadn't told her. Couldn't bring herself to say the words that would shatter her daughter's world. Olivia watched them together. Claire reading to Emma, helping with homework, laughing at inside jokes, storing up memories like provisions for a journey she'd have to take alone. "How do you do it?" Olivia asked one evening after Emma had left. "How do you smile when you know—" She couldn't finish the sentence. Claire looked out the window at the sunset, painting the sky in shades of orange and gold. "Because being angry won't give me more time," she said simply. "Because Emma needs to remember me happy, not bitter. Because—" She paused, searching for words. "Because life is still beautiful, even when it's ending, maybe especially then." Olivia sat beside the bed, holding Claire's hand. It had become their routine. Claire would talk. Olivia would listen. Two women from completely different worlds, connected by cruelty that had somehow transformed into something else. "I'm scared," Claire admitted one night. It was past visiting hours, but the nurses looked the other way. "Not of dying. I've made peace with that. But of leaving Emma. Of all the moments I'll miss. Her first boyfriend. Her graduation, her wedding. Becoming a mother herself. She'll be okay," Olivia said, though she had no idea if it was true. "Will you—" Claire hesitated. "Will you check on her sometimes, after? Just make sure she's okay?" "I promise," Olivia said. The words felt sacred, binding. Claire smiled. "Thank you. For everything. For becoming someone I'm glad to know. You saved me," Olivia whispered. "More than I could ever save you." "Maybe we saved each other," Claire said. "Different ways. But still, 3 months after that first meeting in the cafe, Claire's condition took a sharp turn. The cancer had spread to her brain. The doctors gave her weeks, maybe days. They moved her to hospice care, a sunny room with windows overlooking a garden. Peaceful, quiet, a good place to let go. Emma knew now. Claire had finally told her. The grief in that conversation was something Olivia witnessed from the doorway, unable to intrude, but unable to leave. The sound of a child learning she was about to lose her mother was something that would haunt Olivia forever. But Emma was stronger than anyone expected. She sat beside her mother's bed, holding her hand, telling her about school and friends and all the mundane details of life that suddenly felt precious. Olivia came every day, brought Emma food, made sure she did her homework, provided the adult presence Claire could no longer maintain. "You'll take care of her?" Claire asked one evening. Her voice was weak now, fading like light at dusk. "I will," Olivia promised. "I'll make sure she's okay. I'll be there for her graduation, her wedding, all of it. I'll tell her about you, about how brave you were." Claire's eyes filled with tears. "Thank you. For changing. For becoming someone worthy of that promise." "You changed me," Olivia said. "You showed me what matters, what's real." "Be happy," Claire whispered. "Don't waste your life on things that don't matter, on being seen instead of being good. Promise me." "I promise." Claire closed her eyes. Her breathing was shallow now, labored. Emma climbed onto the bed, careful of the tubes and wires, and curled against her mother. Claire wrapped a weak arm around her daughter. "I love you, baby girl," she whispered. "Always. Even when I'm gone, I'm still loving you." "I love you too, Mama," Emma sobbed. They fell asleep like that, mother and daughter, intertwined. Claire never woke up. She passed peacefully at 3:47 a.m. with Emma and Olivia beside her. No pain, no struggle, just a gentle release, like exhaling after holding your breath too long. The sunrise was beautiful that morning, orange and pink and gold. Claire would have loved it. Epilogue. 1 year later. The cemetery was peaceful, rolling hills, ancient oak trees, marble headstones marking lives lived and lost. Olivia stood before Claire's grave, flowers in hand. She came every week, sometimes with Emma, sometimes alone. The headstone was simple. Claire Morrison, beloved mother, 1983-2024. She taught us how to love. "Hey, Claire," Olivia said softly. "It's been a year now. I thought you should know how things are." She knelt, arranging the flowers carefully. "Emma's doing well. She's strong, like you. Started high school this year, made the soccer team. She talks about you all the time. Good memories, happy ones. You succeeded in that." A breeze rustled through the oak leaves. "I started a foundation, called it Claire's Light. We fund cancer treatment for families who can't afford it. We've helped 43 people so far. It's not much, but..." She paused. "It's something. It's what you taught me to do, to help, to matter." Olivia touched the cold marble. "I miss you. I miss our talks. I miss your wisdom. You died thinking you taught me to be better, but Claire..." Her voice cracked. "You taught me to be human. You showed me that grace isn't weakness, that forgiveness isn't surrender, that the most powerful thing you can do is choose kindness when you have every right to choose cruelty." Tears fell freely now. I was so lost, so empty, building a life out of nothing that mattered, and you, dying, showed me how to live? How messed up is that? She laughed through her tears. "Emma's waiting in the car. We're having dinner tonight. I promised I'd help with her history project. Something about the civil rights movement. She's brilliant, you know. Gets it from you." Olivia stood, wiping her eyes. "I'll come back next week, and the week after, and every week until I can't anymore. Because you deserve to be remembered. You deserve to know that your life mattered, that you changed someone, that you took a spoiled brat who cared about nothing but herself and showed her what real strength looks like." She placed her hand on the headstone one last time. "Thank you," she whispered, "for forgiving me, for teaching me, for trusting me with Emma, for showing me that karma isn't always about punishment. Sometimes it's about transformation." The sun broke through the clouds, bathing the cemetery in golden light. Olivia walked back to her car where Emma waited, scrolling through college brochures even though she was only 14. Planning ahead, dreaming big, living fully. Claire's daughter, Claire's legacy, and Olivia would make sure that legacy continued, that Emma knew she was loved, that she had someone watching over her, that her mother's death hadn't left her alone. It wasn't redemption. Olivia knew that. You couldn't undo cruelty. Couldn't erase the video that had gone viral, the words that had been said, the pain that had been caused. But you could choose differently going forward. You could learn. You could grow. You could become someone worthy of the grace you'd been given. As Olivia drove away from the cemetery, Emma chattering happily about her day, she thought about the cafe, about the moment that had changed everything, about the woman in the burgundy scarf who'd taught her the hardest and most important lesson of her life. Cruelty has consequences, but grace has power. And sometimes, when karma has other plans, the punishment isn't about suffering. It's about transformation. It's about learning, too late and at terrible cost, what really matters. It's about carrying forward the light of someone who taught you how to be human. Claire was gone, but her lesson remained, and Olivia would spend the rest of her life making sure it wasn't wasted.